Hey everyone, it's Dan.
And Georgina.
And today we're going to show you how to make some bourbon and molasses ribs.
Yum! Let's get started.
Sponsored by Chairman's Reserve. So we have a nice rack of ribs here. You can really tell the quality of this meat by the color. It's a deep pink color. Sometimes it can be, you can see the pork, it's a little pale or it's too red. This is exactly what you're looking for. Also, we talked about the marbling earlier. With a cut like this that we're going to cook for a long time, you want more marbling. The marbling is what's going to sort of fall apart as it cooks and give you that super tender flavor. With ribs, we want to cook them till they're almost falling apart, but you still want a little bit of chew to them. I just want to get this in the oven because it takes a while.
Sure.
So this marinade here, a marinade cooking sauce all in one, has bourbon, molasses, brown sugar, just a ton of great stuff.
Yeah.
Would you mind pouring that over the pork here?
Not at all. Okay.
Oh, it already smells good, honestly.
It smells delicious. Talk to me, any other spices in here?
There's some allspice, there's some cinnamon, ginger powder, garlic powder. Great, so yeah, just seal it up tight in the oven for an hour and a half at 300. So while that cooks, what else but have a sip and talk about how we came up with this recipe. So we've both had a ton of ribs over the years.
We have.
Again, just like the chops, I wanted to make something that sort of reflected how we feel about ribs and what we love, and just what we love in general. One of our favorite things to make is molasses cookies. They have all those sort of spices, like allspice and cinnamon in the cookies, and brown sugar. They're really sweet. So I thought of this recipe one night while I was watching a show with you, drinking bourbon, eating one of those cookies. I thought it'd be nice.
Like, I'll be like reading something or watching a show and someone will eat something and I'll be like, Dan, we should make that. Molasses cookies was definitely one of those things. When Dan finds something that I really like, he kind of tries to incorporate it in different dishes. So I was really excited, of course, when he said, this is what I'm thinking for like a marinade for the ribs. Chairman's Reserve provides restaurant quality meats. So let's ask Dan, where did you have your favorite ribs of all time? Like what restaurant?
Oh, favorite of all time. I don't know. I probably would say Smoke Shop is my favorite back
What
in
do you mean
Boston.
you don't know? He loves Smoke Shop. He like raves about them. As soon as when we were back in Boston, if I mentioned going, he'd be like, the ribs.
They're so good. They're so sweet, and they have that thick sort of bark layer that I was talking about that I tried to get with these ribs.
So flavorful. Now for an update on those ribs.
Oh, look at that. So good.
And the smell. Sorry, you can't experience it.
So while these were cooking, after I took the cover off, I just kept basting it with the liquid that was in the pan, but also an additional liquid that I made. It's even more sweet and sticky than the first one. And some of the chunks are from that liquid as well, which is pieces of ginger and garlic.
Yum.
You can even hear this sort of just crackle.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to move this over to the cutting board here. So, like I was mentioning earlier as well, just to the point of falling apart, but not quite there yet.
Got it.
And do you like it better if I do one rib or two? Because I usually do cut them into two segments.
I feel like two. Two makes sense, right? Oh, that's for you. Maybe just one for me then. That's
actually three.
Oh, okay.
These look so good.
I'm gonna just go in for one. Oh my goodness. Delicious.
That sort of crispy caramelized layer is from all the sugar and molasses in the cooking liquid and the glaze. And the bourbon gives it a great just depth of flavor. It all just comes together really well.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the high quality meat, which once cooked is juicy and tender. And then that glaze provides almost like structure in that beautiful kind of crust outside.
It's so good. I'm glad we have 2 racks.
I am so glad.
It'll be perfect for dinner tonight. Thank you all for watching, and thank you to Chairman's Reserve for this wonderful piece of pork that you can find right at your local grocery store.